Hi everyone, I'll be installing Kali Linux 2026.2 in a dual boot setup with Windows without using a USB drive, DVD, or VM. As I'm installing it directly on my computer, I'll have full access to the hardware and no overhead compared to having it virtualized. So to get started, I'm going to download Kali Linux, going to www.kali.org, and I'm going to download, installer images, and I'm going to be installing the installer version, which is complete offline installation with customization. After, go into your downloads folder, and there's my image. Going to mount it, hit enter or right click and mount. Open. All right, it's been mounted. It's been mounted on my E drive. Next, going into disk management, start disk management. All right, and on my computer here, I have disk 0. On it, there's the UEFI partition, my Windows C drive, and the recovery partition. And below, we have the Kali Linux ISO mounted, and it's mounted here in Windows, so it's only accessible here. And if I were to reboot, I wouldn't be able to boot from it. So I'm going to create a partition for it so it's bootable. And I'm also going to set aside some free space for installing Kali. So my free space here is 423 gigabytes. I'll set aside 100 gigabytes for Kali Linux. And the ISO is about 4.5 gigabytes. So I'll set 5 gigabytes, so in total 105 gigabytes. Going to my C drive, right click, shrink volume. I'll do 105,000, shrink. All right, there's my unallocated space. Select it, new simple volume, next. And I'll do 100,000. This is for Kali Linux. This is just a placeholder partition. Next, next. The file system won't matter. I'll just label it as placeholder. Next, finish. Going back to unallocated space, right click, new simple volume, next, next, next. And the file system will be FAT32. And then the volume label, I'll label it as ISO. Next, finish. All right, and so there's my new F drive. I'm going to go back into Explorer, copy out the contents of my E drive, go to my new F drive, and paste. All right, everything has been copied over. Going back into disk management. And so the F drive here, once I'm done installing Kali, I'll be removing this partition and then reclaiming the space. So this will just be temporary. Now, as long as you have a modern computer, your BIOS should be able to detect and boot from this partition. So I'm going to restart my computer and go into the BIOS. In your BIOS, ensure that secure boot is disabled, and if you have fast boot, disable it as well. And now I'm going to do a one-time boot into the installation media partition. It's labeled as UEFI OS, and how I can confirm that, go back into Windows, open up a command prompt as administrator, type in bcdedit space / enum space firmware. And at the bottom, you can see there's partition F, the F drive that was created, and the description, UEFI OS. Going to boot into it. All right, the Kali Linux installer menu starts up, and I got graphical install. Okay. Select the language, English, location, your keyboard. Now it's going to try to detect and mount the installation media, and it's going to fail. As we can see here, your installation media couldn't be mounted. When installing from CD-ROM, this probably means that the disk was not in the drive. If so, you can insert it and try again. So no, I don't want to try again, and then continue. And it says here an installation step failed. That's fine, hit continue. And now I'm going to mount the partition manually. So open up a shell, hit Control Alt plus F2, hit enter, and I'm going to type in block ID to see my partitions. And I'm going to look for the ISO partition. It's labeled as dev SDA5, mount dev SDA5 to the CD-ROM directory. All right, it's been mounted. Now going back to the installer, Control Alt plus F5. So it's already mounted. Going down to the next step, load the debconf pre-configuration file. On my computer, I have a wired and wireless interface. So if you're using wired, you can just select it And if you're using wireless, you'll have to configure it. So I'll go over that. Select your wireless network or enter it manually. And I'm using WPA2 PSK. Put in the passphrase. All right, it's configured. And now put in a host name for your system. Put in your domain name, or if you don't have one, you can leave it empty. Going to create a user account. Put in the full name for the new user. And the username for the new account. And the password. Select your time zone. All right, and I'm going to partition my disk. So I'm going to go to manual. And I'm going to go down to my placeholder partition. And it's partition number 4. And how I can confirm that is the disk size. And also as well, if I go back into the shell, Control Alt F2, and we see there at the top, dev SDA4 is the placeholder partition. Going back, Control Alt F5, going to select the partition, and I'm going to delete the partition. All right, and I have free space. Going to select it, create a new partition. Going to set aside 512 megabytes, beginning. I'll be creating a separate UEFI partition for Kali Linux. Use as UEFI system partition. Bootable flag is on. Done setting up the partition. Going back to the free space. Create a new partition. Use the remaining space. Use as, and then scrolling down to physical volume for LVM. Logical volume manager. LVM will allow me to dynamically resize my disk when needed. And then done setting up the partition. And then going back up. Configure the logical volume manager. And here it's asking if I'm satisfied with the current partitioning scheme before continuing. Yes. All right, so we can see here the summary of the current LVM configuration. So first I'll have to create a volume group. I'll call it Kali-VG for volume group. Continue. And then scrolling down, and here I'll have to select the devices for it. So it's going to be dev SDA7, which is the new partition that was created for LVM. And if you're not sure, I can go back into the shell, Control Alt F2, and then type in block ID again. And we can see there at the bottom, dev SDA7, the type is LVM2 member. Control Alt F5, select it, continue. All right, the volume group has been created. And I'm going to create the logical volume. And I'm going to be selecting the new volume group, Kali-VG. I'll be creating 2 logical volumes in total. So this one will be swap. And the size for it, I have 12 gigs of RAM. So I'll do 12 gigs. And creating the next logical volume. Select the volume group. And the name for it, I'll just name it as root. Using the remaining free space. All right, and I can go to display configuration details. And we see the volume group and the logical volumes. Continue. And then finish. All right, and then I'm going to select the root logical volume, use as ext4, mount point will be slash, keep everything else as the same, done setting up the partition, and going to the swap logical volume, use as swap area, done setting up the partition, and then finish partitioning and write changes to disk. Here is asking to confirm, yes. All right, and it's installing the base system, and then it will fail configuring the package manager. So I'll need to unmount the installation media partition, going back to the shell, and then unmount it, umount/cd-rom, going back, hit continue, and try again. Here it's asking for the software to install. You can customize what software you want, and if you're not sure, you can just leave the defaults and hit continue. You can always install additional software afterwards. All right, it's done installing. Please choose continue to reboot. When I restart, it should locality and go into the grub menu, but to make sure, I'll restart and go into the BIOS to verify the boot order. All right, in my boot order here, boot option number 1 is the Windows Boot Manager, boot option number 2 is UEFI OS, and boot option number 3 is Kali, so I'll have to change that, so it's boot option number 1. and save changes and exit. All right, it's loaded into Kali and I get the grub menu here. We see there's Kali and there's the Windows Boot Manager. So I'm going to go into Kali, log in. All right, and I'm in Kali Linux. Now I no longer need the installation media partition, so I'm going to remove it. I'm going to go into gparted, put in my password, and I'm going to look for the ISO partition, and I'm going to remove it. Right click, delete, and then I'm going to resize dev SDA7 or the Kali volume group here. Right click, resize move. I'm going to use all the free space, resize, and then hit the check mark to apply. Apply. All right, it has completed. Hit close. Going to close gparted. Lastly, going to extend the root logical volume to use that free space. Open up a terminal. Going to show my logical volumes. Sudo lv display. Put in my password. All right, so there's my root logical volume, and I'm going to increase it. Sudo lv extend -r -l plus 100% free dev kali-vg/root. All right, it has been extended, and I'll do an lv display again. And we see the size of it increased to 90 gigabytes. I'm going to close. And I'm going to reboot my computer to ensure I can get back into Windows. Select Windows. All right, and I'm back in Windows. So that's it. That's how you can install Kali Linux 2026.02 and a dual boot setup with Windows without using a USB drive, DVD, or VM. I hope this video has been useful, and I thank you for watching. Bye now.